Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. We are from group 2 and the members of our group are Eksanti, Oktavia, Putri, Indah Khairunnisa, and me, Hafiza Safira. And in this chapter, will be presented about needs analysis, and the first material will be presented by me. Okay, first about introducing the needs analysis. So instructional design is conducted for a purpose. That purpose is to help to produce a desired change. The change could be many things such as an improvement in attitudes of employees toward a particular job task, an increase in knowledge of students taking in a high school history course, or an upgrade of the skill level of consumers using a new word processor. The information gathered during a needs analysis will help the instructional design to be clear about what instruction needs to be developed or if instruction is even necessary to help bring about the desired change. Also, instructional designer use a needs analysis to process to get the source of the problem. In order to do this, specific information is needed. This information is gathered by instructional design through various means such as interviews, observation, and reviews of available artifacts. The information gathered in then used to inform how the rest of instructional design's process will be carried out. Okay, next is about needs analysis question. A typical needs analysis attempt to provide information that will help answer the following questions. First question is what is the change being requested, or including who is being asked to change what is currently taking place. Second is who is requesting the change. Third is where will this change need to take place, and last question is instruction the most appropriate means for bringing about the desired change. And next is about formal and informal needs analysis. First, in needs analysis, a needs analysis provides information that allows an instructional designer to get the core of the problem right. So if little or nothing is known about the problem, then a full-scale needs analysis is necessary. There are the situations, however, where an instructional designer does not carry out a full-scale needs analysis because he or she uh, is brought into the instructional designer process at a stage where the client has already clearly determined what the problem is and has possibly even identified why it may be occurring. And last, uh, about popular approaches to needs analysis is the first from Robert F. Major. He is an author of instructional design texts that have been popular for decades. His approach to needs analysis is a good place to start. Major described a process of determining is the proper course of action in those instances where people are not doing what they should be doing. And second is from Marison, Rose, and Kent. Uh, approach needs analysis in more technical manner through the use of method they call needs assessment. According to Marison, needs assessment serve four functions. First is it identifies the needs relevant to popular job or task. Second, it identifies critical needs. Third, it sets priorities for selecting an intervention. Fourth, it provides baseline data to assess the effectiveness of instruction. So, in addition to the needs analysis method from Marison in 2006, described two other needs analysis method. First is goals analysis, and second performance assessment, which is similar to measures performance analysis. They wrote goals analysis take less time than a needs assessment, and its focus is typically much narrower. The goals analysis starts with the problem someone has identified and then is focused on a solution.
Okay, so I'm Eksanti Putri. So I will continue the explanation from Hafiza about popular approaches to needs analysis. Okay, so Ellison Rosette's 1955 states that the needs assessment drives the entire instructional design process by eventually shaping the decision made about design, development, implementation, and evaluation. She believes that when a needs analysis is conducted, it allows an instructional design to gather information about the following factors. Okay, so first is optimal performance. So instructional designers consult a variety of sources such as experts, documentation, standards, practices, tags, and tests. Second, actual performance. Well, an instructional designers can use employee performance records, observation, and interviews to help gather data. Third, feelings. So instructional designers want to know how individuals feels about the topic, training about the topic as a priority, and their confidence surrounding the topic. Fourth, cause or causes. Rosette identify four kinds of for why individuals may not be performing as they should. A. They lack the skill or knowledge. B. The environment is in the way. C. There are no, few, or improper incentives. And D. The employees are unmotivated. 5 solutions. So what solutions are possible? Rosette also outlines a 5-step process for conducting a needs analysis. First, determine purposes based on initiators. So the instructional designer must determine what type of situation initiated the problem. And then the instructional designer must then determine what purpose or purposes need to be addressed in order to develop a solution for the existing problem. Second, identify sources. The next step is to identify who has the information that is needed and where it is located. Second, select tools. So gathering various types of data requires different tools. Interviews, observing employees' performance, and examining records and outcomes, group meetings, and questionnaires are tools that can be used. Fourth, conduct the needs assessment in stages. So, the need for additional information from the identified sources may be gathered if it is determined that the data collected are not adequate. 5. Fifth, use findings for decision making. So the information gathered during the needs assessment is used to develop a solution that is appropriate. Smith and Reagan 2004 believe that instructional designer must learn to be clever investigators who are capable of clearly analyzing the learning context. And they also believe that a needs assessment helps determine whether the need exists for new instruction to be developed. And they outline 3 needs assessment models. First, discrepancy-based needs assessment model. So, when learning goals are already identified and instruction is being offered that is related to these goals. Second, the problem finding. So, problem-solving models is used when someone is management or administration, some member of the constituency, such as parents, clients, or community leaders, or some employees or students have identified that a problem exists in the organizations achieving its mission. Third, the innovation model. So, the innovation model is used to examine changes or innovations in the educational system or organization to determine if adding new learning goals is necessary to account for the changes or innovation. With this model, it is extremely important to include the stakeholders, for example, teachers or trainers, managers or administrators, because an outcome could be the additions of or the change in goals for the organization. Okay, so the next material is about needs analysis procedures. So to gather the appropriate data, a thorough needs analysis must be conducted. A needs analysis is conducted by using various data gathering tools to help answer fundamental questions. First, determining the desired change. In most cases, your client will specifically tell you what change is desired and the individuals who are being asked to change. This information can be gathered through an interview process. Additionally, through an interview, the client will be able to provide insights into what is currently taking place in the environment where the individual or individuals are being asked to change. However, it is good practice for an instructional designer to observe the environment personally rather than solely relying on the client's description. Second, the request for the desired change. So this is an extremely important element to understand because it will help you determine the type of intervention that may need to take place, the emotional and political climate of the situation, and the level of support that is present and that will most likely be needed for a change to take place. Third, implementation location of the desired change. Finding out where the desired change will take place is another important element to consider. This will help you to better understand the context of where an intervention will be needed. It can be very helpful to visit the location where the change is to take place to help you gain a solid understanding of the environment. And last, the intervention. So based on the information you have gathered through your needs analysis, you will need to determine an appropriate intervention. It is important to keep in mind that you may want to offer more than one type of intervention to your client. Allow your client to be part of the decision-making process. Okay, that's all about my presentation. The next material will be presented by Indah Khairunnisa. So Indah, time is yours.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Indah Khairunnisa. I will explain the next slide. In this slide is about evaluating the success of a need analysis. One method used to evaluate the success of a need analysis is to determine if the solution developed and implemented help bring about the desired change. Summative evaluation activity poses serious problem if it is the only method used to evaluate the success of a need analysis. The most serious problem is that it is conducted well after the need analysis has been carried out and consequently does not provide you with corrective feedback. It is an all or nothing method. It helps to determine whether you have succeeded or you have failed. Therefore, it is good practice to use formative evaluation activities throughout the need analysis process in addition to this summative activity. An important formative evaluation activity to use is sustained communication between you and the client during the entire need analysis process. Data gathered should be periodically shared with the client during this process. This formative evaluation activity helps ensure that you are gathering accurate data by presenting the client with opportunities to provide feedback. Another formative evaluation activity that can be conducted is to share data and interpretation of the data with a member of the target audience the change is designed for, or with someone who has had a similar experience, although the situation is not as ideal. This can help determine if what you have found match with what the individual perceives is taking place. If the data and interpretation seem familiar and appropriate to this individual, it suggests that the need analysis was successful. This process is referred to as a member check. A member check is comparison method of evaluation that comes from a qualitative research paradigm. Okay, the last slide is need analysis and the instructional design process. A need analysis is critical in helping the instructional designer determine what instruction need to be developed or if instruction is even necessary to help bring out a desired change. No matter what approach you take, completing a need analysis should help you answer the following question. First is, what problem exists or what change is being requested? Second is, who is being asked to change? Third is, what is currently taking place with the individual or individuals being asked to change. Next is about the next is who identify the problem or is requesting the change. Next is where will the solution or change need to take place. Next is instruction the most appropriate means for solving the problem or bringing about the desired change. And the last question is, what is the solution to be developed and implemented? Okay, I think enough for our group presentation from group 2. If we have a mistake, we say sorry. The last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.